this Thursday, July 10th. Well, we've had some rain here. A drop or two. A whole camp got washed away.
It's time for doggy ice cream to try to preoccupy these dogs.
First off, doggy ice cream. Forget what I said about Camp Mystic. We're not talking about that yet.
We have fun here. We don't talk about children being swept away at sea.
It's been on my mind. Not sea. Not sea. Not sea. They got swept away in the Guadalupe Sea.
In the fucking goddamn mudslides, dude. Mudslides are wild. I always wasn't gonna live in California because of that. And now I'm in Austin and it like was raining and I was like, I'm gonna slide away. Gonna slip and slide my life away.
Slip and slide.
You think it's fun. You're like, oh shit. My car's gone now. Oh, I can just claim insurance. I'll just go for a little swim. All of a sudden, you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're looking at the news the next day and your family's texting you if you're okay. And overnight, a national tragedy occurred. Anyways, back to the task at hand. So, we're no, for real. It's the most fucked up thing. Like, Camp Mystic is one of the most fucked up things that's ever happened, I think. But we're gonna give the dog.
You can't take yourself too seriously when you have like hair all over the mic while you're and you're like feeding your dog ice cream, being like, just want to make sure that everybody knows I take little girls drowning in the water very seriously.
I did feel like, all right, but like, let's be for real for a second. No one heard about that and was like, like, we're all sad as fuck. We're all sad as fuck over it happening. And Alex
might be the toughest one to get a joke out of, really.
Yeah. Oh, this is the joke. That Alex and I didn't record last weekend, and this weekend I said, can you imagine if we had recorded and then found out about Camp Mystic the next day?
Yeah, take it.
He doesn't understand. Let's focus on this ice cream right now, guys.
You have to eat it. No, you have to take it. Take it. It's your ice cream.
He doesn't understand.
Take the ice cream. Sir, take the ice cream. All right, fine. I'll just give you your ice cream down here. Here you go, sir.
Ralph, what about you?
Ralph, you're sleeping on ice cream, bro.
Ralphie.
Hello.
Look alive, baby.
Don't you understand? Do you want it? Here, take your ice cream.
Ralphie.
No, take your ice cream. No, you got to take it. Take your ice cream. Take it. Take your ice cream.
Cross-eyed.
Take your ice cream, bro.
Stop looking. He's okay.
All right, fine.
Oh, you know what I just did? I tried to demonstrate Ralph doing that, and I don't even want to do it again, but dude, I just want to show you real quick because you weren't looking. Right? Wait, just look at me. Are you ready?
Here's Donald Trump at a very particularly small desk around a lot of human beings as he's given a gavel as a reward for signing the largest bill in human history. Then he hits it like a tiny hammer. Ever thought Donald Trump looked like a toddler? Here it is.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It was a beautiful signature. That was a good one. That was a beautiful. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. President, this is the gavel we use to enact the big, beautiful bill, and I want you to have that for your
These are awesome. Are we ready? Gavel us in. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Have a good time, everybody. Thank you very much. I do.
Oh, Mr.
Mid-afternoon hammer. I felt very good about it. The tiny desk and all the people smiling and clapping. I swear to God, AI is getting so good. I hardly could even tell that it wasn't real.
They really spent a lot of money for no reason. They really did do that.
I know, it looks so real. I'm just kidding.
No, like they did that. They did this one.
No. No. Not my man. Sorry, just kidding. Wait, will you tell me what's in the bill? Just give me the headlines.
I heard like some people aren't gonna get Medicare, but it's all good because they're gonna be farmers now. For the illegals.
Slave labor canceled.
Real
Actual.
Fox News told us the real highlights, which are like $55,000 of tax deductible income for tips, so people like me and you can claim our tips with no tax deduction. What else is in there? No more tax or EV credits. We're just gonna be like, nah, fuck you to all that shit. Trying to see what else is in that. I think that's it. Oh, they kept the tax credit. They kept the tax credit for Trump. Like from before. Like he already did a tax credit, and now they're like, you can keep doing that.
One of the most amazing things that ever happened was during Donald Trump's first presidency, during the debate, and they were asking questions about taxes, and they asked him how many taxes he had paid. I think he said none, and they were like, wow, despicable. And he said, you made those rules.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle talks about it in like one of his SNL not cold open, but monologues. And he says, and a star was born. Kind of feels that way. There's been a lot of talk about the scales tipping in the other direction. So, as we've all witnessed, being a Republican has been made cool. However, it is again becoming uncool.
Jerry needs help with this ice cream. Jerry.
Ralph wants to help out.
Come here, Jerry.
Okay, yeah.
Ralph wants some too.
It's now Jerry really wants. It's difficult to not watch.
What the fuck? This is my ice cream. Okay, Jerry, you go.
I had a couple of half pizzas earlier sitting on the couch, and my dog tried to take a bite and flipped them both face down on the floor. So
they're both like really wound up right now, so we just keep talking about our dogs because they're walking in circles. And I have the dryer on right now, and the dryer is making the light flicker. And that first clip wasn't all that interesting because that's not what the whole week has been about. Because the whole week's been about a lot of other things going on that are much more interesting we're going to get to.
I was pretty interested in
But
Trump's tiny desk concert. Serving tiny hands.
Tiny gavel. It's just one track, Tiny Gavel for 3 seconds.
One track on the album, Tiny Gavel.
What? If you don't want it, then you don't need it. Here. Want it? You have to eat it. Sorry, guys. We're going to cut a lot of this out. This is just probably boring as fuck.
You should just film them.
I wish, but we already are finished with ice cream.
Oh, Ralph. It's going to give Jerry some kiss. Gosh, oh. Well, maybe if you guys wouldn't be so doggone cute all the time, we could look away every once in a while. Maybe.
Maybe if my dog wasn't handicapped and could just eat his ice cream by himself. Maybe if my dog wasn't handicapped and could eat his ice cream by himself. But at the same time, like, I must be handicapped because I can't even keep the mic on myself.
There's a lot going on.
Did it? All right, here you go. Here you go, Ralph. You can have the rest. Very weird.
So like we said, we're trying out new ideas and things, like giving the dogs ice cream. Alex suggested I fix my hair. Just a couple of the things we're trying out. Trying out one microphone.
Fixing her hair. Oh yeah, I remember that part. Where'd my beer go? This is the worst episode of a podcast. All right.
Just talking
Right,
so much shit
it's gonna be
You
so
gotta be
much
under
better.
pressure though.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry. Conversation I don't care.
Yeah. I'm drinking a banana cream peanut butter bacon beer.
Fat Elvis. That's so funny because he loved peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Did he?
Yeah.
No idea.
I also love peanut butter and banana sandwiches, but boy, he was sleeping on those chocolate chips. Throw a few mini choco chips on there. Whoa, we're talking about a good time.
You and fucking Elvis over here with your goddamn peanut butter banana bullshit.
Because if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, then we'd all have a wonderful Christmas. I'm fucking crying.
Here's the ex-CIA director, some old white guy on MSNBC complaining for some reason. And apparently we care. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. He's straight serving. Serve, queen.
I don't know. It's so sad and tragic. And, you know, I keep thinking, okay, this is the authoritarian playbook. We've seen this play out so many times. And unfortunately, I think we're seeing it play out. And a number of academics and writers have pointed out that Carl Schmitt, who was a German jurist, political philosopher and writer in the 1930s, his thesis, which Nazi Germany basically took up, was don't worry about doing something that is ethical or principled or good or right. Do whatever you can to win, vanquish your adversaries, vanquish your enemies. And unfortunately, we have seen that happening overseas. We've seen it in Viktor Orban in Hungary. We've seen it with Vladimir Putin. We see it in China, other places. We see it also in terms of, some of the foreign policies that are being implemented, including, in the Middle East right now. So I really am very worried that what we're seeing now in this chapter of American history is a sad deterioration of, I think, the respect for the rule of law and for our system of government. And if a president of the United States is willing to weaponize intelligence and justice and, law enforcement investigators, and the people who head up these departments and agencies are willing to bow to it, we really are in deep, deep trouble, which was why I think so many people are worried about the direction this country is taking. So this whole thing about the CIA note and this possible referral of me and criminal investigation, I think is just symptomatic of a much broader disease that we are confronting right now in terms of how our democratic principles are being eroded and corroded as a result of this authoritarian march that we are witnessing every day.
Give it back to me. I have nice things to say. His hair, Snow White. His skin, it's there.
It's there.
His skin, he has it.
That is, I mean, at that, what age you guessing?
Early 50s.
Stop it. Real guess.
See 92. Yo,
I gotta look that up.
I don't appreciate. Okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I really don't appreciate Biden or Bernie acting like they could be candidates for the presidency. You're too old.
Okay, the ex-CIA director under anybody, like any of them that are alive right now, how old are they?
Okay, I can't find their exact ages, but I can tell you that the current CIA director is John Ratcliffe. He was sworn in on January 23rd, 2025. Would you like to know more about him?
How old is he?
John Ratcliffe was born in 1965, making him 59 years old.
No. The ex, the guy right before him. How old is the guy right before him?
Okay, you're asking about the previous CIA director. That would be Gina Haspel. She was born on October 1st, 1956, which makes her 68 years old.
No, old white man before the lady.
Okay, before Gina Haspel, the CIA director was Mike Pompeo. He was born in 1963, making him 62 years old.
No, before Mike Pompeo. Who was the CIA director before Mike Pompeo?
Okay, the CIA director before Mike Pompeo was John Brennan. He was born in 1955, so that makes him 70 years old.
That guy was 70 years old. And also, we didn't learn
Sorry,
anything from him.
John.
We didn't learn anything from him.
Why are they talking to him?
Yeah, because we had to ask for 8 of those back. We're like, no, not that CIA director, the other one. No, the other one. No, the other one.
They've been doing that so much lately. They're really scrambling for guests. They're like, well, let's talk to the guy that was in charge before the guy that's in charge now, before them and before them and before them.
Let's talk to well, they did ask Bill Clinton how he felt. They just fucking literally asked him do you think that Biden was cognitive? And I'm like, why are you asking Bill Clinton this? Why is that?
That's a funny question for a guy who's not cognitive. Dude, they're too old. Give it up. Now we're going to check out a video of Trump and Melania having a good old time dancing together on a balcony to the Village People's YMCA.
Do you think that Trump and Melania will be playing YMCA at a trailer park near you when they're 93 in Florida? Play the song, lady. They think people are gonna still come out. They don't come out like they used to. Ever since JD became president, they don't like listening to YMCA and dancing with me.
Trump might be the one guy who, no matter how old he gets, I'll expect him to be around. Even while we're like, why are they still asking him stuff when he's not even the president? Now it just feels like second nature. Why wouldn't you? Everyone's obsessed with him. You all fucking love it. Love to milk the Trump.
The Trump titty. You love to milk the Trump titty. Trump titty train for Trump.
You love to be the caboose of the Trump train after all the other cars have passed through.
Now, we have come to the segment that you've all been waiting for. The reason that you came to this podcast. The one thing we talk about that the mainstream media won't talk about, which is there's absolutely nothing to see here when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, and that's why our lights are working perfectly fine.
I'm not even fucking around. I really thought that he was about to bring out his special show and tell surprise. I thought that was the dramatic intro leading up to our newest co-host.
Oh, you just thought you were gonna
Not yet. We're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein first. Everyone calm down.
So they released the footage. They said that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't in it. But then Coffeezilla came to the internet rescue, let us all know there was a minute missing. Also, prisoner was escorted up to Epstein's room at 10:40, which means that Epstein or a prisoner, one of the two, was outside of their cell after lockdown, which happened at 8 p.m. Also, let everyone know Epstein had a phone call with someone after that lockdown at 8 p.m., but it was an unrecorded private phone call upon his own request. The camera in his corridors and in his hallway was not working because it stopped working 10 days earlier due to a DVR issue, apparently. What else? Oh, everyone's lying.
Yeah. So it's very funny for them to like put out this video and be like, and then all your questions will be answered and you'll see for yourself. You'll see for yourself in the video how he killed himself. And
Not only did they not do that,
it feels like what they accidentally did. It feels like what they accidentally did was just give us more questions and I'm getting fucked up here.
okay, I'm going to tell you my opinion here now. Donald Trump's on the fucking list. Didn't want it to be released. They are naive, idiot politicians in the limelight in the media. They didn't know that Epstein was any different than JFK or MLK. They send their people up to New York, to the Southern District of New York, the Manhattan District of New York, the people that do all these corrupt cases, and they get the evidence. Within 3 weeks, they turn around and you had the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, saying that she had a bunch of different lists that all of a sudden didn't exist anymore. You had Kash Patel lying to Joe Rogan on the air in athleisure and having fucking goddamn Tim Dillon have to call him out for it. You had Dan Bongino looking white as a ghost. I literally thought the man was white. I thought he pulled a fucking Michael Jackson, bleached his fucking skin white. He looked so fucking terrified. And I'm just like, why are you terrified? Why are you crying? Why are you scared? If all you're doing here on Fox News right now is letting us know nothing happened. Why have all this emotion for nothing? So yeah, there's a lot with all of that and them all lying there and the fact that they got the information and within 3 weeks turned around and threw it out. Not to mention the fucking binders with the fucking kids. They gave these kids binders, people like me and Kelly. They're like, oh, here, come to DC. Here's a binder of Epstein's fucking, and we open it up. Normal human beings, YouTube people, open it up. And they go, oh, wait, this is all already on the internet. Why do that? If you're literally the government, you're like, here's some new information as the government. You're like, wait, no, government. Actually, these PDFs are all over the internet.
You really gotta look at Coffeezilla's thing with like where he takes the actual report and the PDFs and the diagrams and the images and he explains how the camera is not pointing at the cell in any way, shape, or form. How you can see a slight sliver of an inmate in an orange jumpsuit walking up the stairs towards Jeffrey Epstein's cell, but you can't see the cell or the stairs necessarily, and you can't even see that there's like a CO with that prisoner walking up the stairs, but you would assume so.
It's just so fucking crazy, but I think it might be the. We'll hold it. I mean, we are being gaslit here, definitely, but
the reason why I'm not even like Alex is very interested in it, thank God, and the reason why I haven't really looked into it at all is because I was just like, isn't it just the same shit they've been saying this whole time? It's just like, it's not new information, is it? It's just the same fucking shit.
No, what's different this time, Kelly, is that like all of the people that said that there was something in it, all the people that were yelling at you at Thanksgiving going, no, you need to look at this. Those people turned around and went, actually, there's nothing in that. Now everybody's confused. Now all of the people that didn't care are now like, what is going, like, because it makes no sense. It's like, yeah, because when the crazy conspiracy theory uncle is at Thanksgiving and he goes, hey, you need to look at that Jeffrey Epstein guy. And everybody goes, okay, whatever, shut up, Jeffrey Epstein. But then when he comes back to Thanksgiving, he goes, actually, Jeffrey Epstein's a great guy and I have no problems with him. Now I'm looking up who Jeffrey Epstein is. Now I'm a little fucking interested. That's the whole thing with like Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, fucking Candace Owens, everyone going against Trump.
Jones is sick over it. He's about to throw up, dude, in his car. He's like, ugh.
This happens to him every few years. What do you think the last one was? Do you think it was COVID? What do you when Joe Rogan got fucking CNN, he was like, I'm gonna throw up. Just can't handle it. Just gets too much for him.
Sandy Hook verdict.
Hey. He was just an actor in that whole thing, okay?
Oh my God, what's he gonna say about Camp Mystic? Be like, none of those girls are there.
Bro needs to just stick it out on the Epstein stuff and chill on the floods. He's literally from here, but he should not be reporting on the local news. Alex Jones, do not report on local news. I beg you. Whatever you do, keep reporting on the Israelis and stay away from local news.
Please, for the love of God, I don't think that you could even sell that many protein powder packs.
Can't do it, dude.
You can't generate enough income for all those settlements if you don't stop now.
Stop before you start, man.
Stop before you start.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now we're gonna watch a clip of Jeffrey Epstein so that I can discuss with our viewers how long his face is. It's scary.
Kelly has this. Okay, I'm watching all these things trying to show Kelly. I'm like, look, I wasn't interested in Jeffrey Epstein, but now that the crazy uncle is saying there's nothing going on anymore, we should all be interested. And I'm showing her all these YouTube crazy fucking liberal conspiracy theory holes. I'm like, this is truly like the new old Alex Jones InfoWars. Like, we're all liberals again, like being like, down with George Bush, down with Iraq. And then she's over here like, that man's face is very long.
It's not human. Can we talk about how every time you pass the mic to me to be like, explain this? What do you think of this take? And I'm like, this person looks like they just had a haircut. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Why else would I be doing a podcast about the news?
I mean, I agree. He has a long face. It's like it's very like a sexy Jay Leno. So I would call it. Is there something wrong with that?
Why did you say sexy?
He does look good.
When I see how long that face is, I'm like, if I were a child, I'd be so scared. I mean, how did he ever groom? Because I would just look at him and I would be like, you're not. No one's chin should be that long.
That's getting to the other thing on this whole Epstein thing that's really bad, though, is that they want it to be about the death of Jeffrey Epstein. They're like, well, I think he might have killed himself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he killed himself. And when Coffeezilla is showing the report saying after lockdown, he's allowed to go and answer the phone. They're going to not record that phone call. He's going to walk back up to his cell and apparently, according to the U.S. government, kill himself. Maybe we should be hearing that phone call.
Yeah.
That also has a recording. But we're just not putting it on the record. Again, there's like,
maybe we should see.
There is no list. Remember? Yeah, apparently there is no list. There's no list at all now. The list that fucking existed doesn't exist now.
Cash Patel and, what's his,
Vagino's Pizza?
Nah, it was them, the clip of them, like, standing on the stage, and Cash Patel is like, I've seen suicides. That man killed himself. And then, is his name Pete? What the fuck is the other guy's name?
Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino.
Pizza Bongino.
All right, thanks. I'm retarded. Wait, no, I'm not done. And then Dan Bongino, I think, allegedly, is like, is like, look, he killed himself. All right. He did it. He killed himself. Okay.
What? But again, like, it's not about that. And that's what's even weirder is that the media has been the people protecting this story since the beginning, which is why everybody thought it was the Clintons that we were protecting. Turns out we're protecting both sides. But again, now the media, because the media loves to hate Trump, they might hate Trump enough to just actually become journalists again. Saying that Epstein was a pedophile is a really weird way of putting out what he was doing. He had girls that were between 12 and 18 months before, 18 months before 18, specifically. No, so it's weird to say what he was doing. I can argue this was infant fucking, okay?
That'd be tough.
No, but he was taking girls specifically 16 and 17 years old. I think the youngest person on the island report of the 250 victims was 13 or 14 years old. These women were on an island with Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, the highest figures around the world, the most powerful men in the world. And guess what? There was a camera everywhere. There's a camera in every room, in every bathroom, in every bedroom. There's a camera everywhere on the island. And it's full of girls that happen to be old enough to have tits, but young enough to be a crime. And it's full of cameras and powerful leaders all around the world. And we're going to just, again, now that Donald Trump was also on that island, we're going to now say there was no list. The list that he said there was. There isn't a list now. Magically. And and it should be looked at as a crazy conspiracy theory, Alex Jones style, and people should be mad that people like Kash Patel, people like in the media, get to do this fucking gaslighting weird thing with pedophilia to make you feel some type of way about what Epstein did and take the eye off of what was really going on. Bill Clinton is getting extorted for Israel to be able to do world deals for them by fucking a 16-year-old girl. I don't think that that's the crime. The problem isn't the 16-year-old girl. The problem isn't Bill Clinton. The problem is the setup, the honeypot, the doing it, the taking American taxpayer money, the being able to decide what a foreign country does with American fucking decisions. The fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking to Tucker Carlson saying there's more bills about Israel than there are about America. It's all because of this island. It's all because of these extortions. And now the person that was sitting there saying, I agree with you, there is a conspiracy theory. His whole fucking team, everybody that was on a podcast, is all of a sudden, fucking every one of them is like, nope, nothing to see here. And then the ones that will talk about it do the same thing the media did in the beginning where they go, yeah, that disgusting pedophile raping children on that island. We would never show you these disgusting crimes. Think about how gross it is to think about an old man fucking a 12-year-old child. How about a 7-year-old child? How about a 16-month-old child? Now do you feel gross? Now do you feel disgusting? How about we stop thinking about Epstein then? Yeah, but that's not what was happening on the island. What was happening on the island was Bill Clinton was getting his dick sucked by a 16-and-a-half-year-old while an Israeli man goes, I got you recorded, buddy. That's much more interesting than this fucking exacerbated Kash Patel fucking fantasy land where this man was just raping 9-year-olds and, oh, it's so gross, we should just stop talking about it. That didn't ever happen there. And what's even crazier is that if you watch the movie Sound of Freedom, the largest box office film independently of all time, surpassing Big Fat Greek Wedding, came out in 2020 during the whole Barbenheimer thing. And the whole movie is a true story about islands that truly are about what they're talking about. There are islands like that in the fucking Philippines that have 9-year-olds on them that are being raped and murdered and everything else and being sex slaves. So we have a real thing, and then we're trying to make the real thing that's disgusting to all of us be this thing that it's not for Epstein in order to protect the people in charge of our own fucking government, including the guy that everybody, including Joe Rogan, sat here and said, oh man, if only we get the RFK and Trump in, it'll be just so fucking great to bury their fucking pedophilic tendencies.
Bro, it's like,
That's my whole thing. That was me.
how are we supposed to trust you as our leaders when, like, we already knew we couldn't or shouldn't, but now there can't? What type of illusion are we supposed to have with
That was
all of this?
Epstein didn't kill himself. No one cared if he killed himself or not. It was saying, who killed him? You did, government. It was a question. It was a question of the story. The whole thing of being like, we don't trust you. And then the response to our metaphoric question is,
They just keep gaslighting.
they're like, well, no.
They just keep gaslighting. So it's like, honestly, like,
But will the Democrats, will the MSNBC folks, will the people that could take Trump down from the actual inside left, from the establishment, will they go at this? Or are they so fucking down the rabbit hole as well, like funded by the Clinton Foundation, whatever, that they can't do this either? And then no one's going to do. But that's the problem. But but that's the thing, Elon Musk's America fucking group, if people walk in there and just like Trump said about the Democrats, you're all corrupt, blah, 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 Hillary Clinton should be in jail. If we start walking around now going, they should all be in jail because look, they're clearly lying about Epstein Island and the extortion of the American government as they continue to drop bombs in Gaza, the #1 story of today. So much for fucking peace.
how terrible would it be to just, I guess the question we all have is, how terrible would it be to just have the truth and move forward? Is it something that we don't want to know?
Well, okay, so like, again, we like, if you practically speaking, we know what this is, and it's like Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes, they went down the deeper conspiracy hole because that's what their brains do. They were like, well, what if Trump did find out it was blackmail and then he wanted to keep the blackmail, so now he's blackmailing them? Like, he's like, we'll say that nothing happened, and now you're in our pocket, Clintons. Now you're in our pocket, Democrats. Ha 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 ha.
Maybe, but what I'm noticing about Trump is that he doesn't really just do that stuff all willy-nilly. Like, I'm just gonna do this, like break this person's back. There's usually like a reason. Do you agree? Do you know?
It is, and I think especially in the second administration, everything's more founded. There is no split decision. There's no split decision making anymore. It's very much a lobby, and it's a lobby of individuals with like American actions.
He's starting a cultural shift of like ruling as a human. Really, I feel like Obama flirted with it and he got as close to it as possible. But now we're seeing a big shift in, like, you know how we were saying like we need somebody in charge who doesn't care? We kind of have that, except we're lucky that he does care.
Or are we? Are we? Because that's the whole thing, is that
he has like a certain level of morality that he honors, like a certain level of integrity and stuff.
but he's sitting. But we'll get to the clip at the end of this episode and we'll bring it back up. So let's end our Epstein here. But I don't know that Trump anymore has integrity after that whole response of degrading the reporter, telling America that we should be over Epstein. But we'll get down to that debate at the end. So now's the perfect time for me to explain. I bought a Labubu. This is my Labubu. She's trying to scream her way back into the shot, but it's not about her. It's about Labubu. He is an all-knowing, powerful. They say the monster. I don't know what that means, but his head spins like this. I don't know why I was leaning over like that. Labubu. Labu. Boo. Boo boo. Labubu. 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 Kelly. It's a Labubu. I'm trying to show you him. He also has like so you can also like move his feet too and his hands. You could be like, I want his hands to be backwards, and I want his head to be backwards, and I want his feet to be backwards. Be like, this is my Labubu. Boo. It's actually a pretty high quality Labubu.
I can't believe you introduced him while I was away.
So I mean, I needed to do something.
This is bullshit.
How do you feel about Labubus? What's your thoughts and history on Labubus?
I love it so much. I love him. He's so cute. He's the best one you could have gotten.
He was $20.
He's $20. He's so cute. He can turn his hands 360 degrees and his feet.
Pretty high quality stuffed animal. And both of our dogs want to eat his face.
Jerry, you can't have
No!
it. Jerry.
Stop it, Jerry!
Gerald.
This is Labubu!
No violence on camera, Gerald.
Oh shit.
They want to eat our Labubu.
Labubu!
No!
Labubu! No! Labubu!
Don't eat him.
Don't eat the Labubu! No!
It's not fair.
Oh. He's a $20 Labubu.
Give him to me. No, you can't have him. We're just having fun, guys. It's not real. You can't really.
Yeah.
It's not real.
It's not real. You can't have him.
I don't buy it.
Reality is not real. You can't have it. Reality is not real.
Ralph is so not convinced. Pull him back out.
Look at Jerry. He's trying to like figure out a way to climb the wall. He's like, I'm going to climb this wall and I will figure it out.
Climb this wall. I'm gonna find little man's. He gonna be mine. I like you and I want you. You're gonna come down here.
They're both like stalking the entire apartment now. Like, how do I get the Labubu? Here's the Treasury Secretary really upset that Elon Musk wants to start a third party for some reason.
Let you go. It's not a big secret that you had your differences with Elon Musk when he was working in the administration. He announced this weekend that he is starting a new political party. Does that worry the Trump administration?
Look, the principles of Doge were very popular. I think if you looked at the polling, Elon was not. So I believe that the boards of directors at his various companies wanted him to come back and run those companies, which he is better at than anyone. So I imagine that those board of directors did not like this announcement yesterday and will be encouraging him to focus on his business activities, not his political activities.
Look what a fucking guy that's so gay for dork stuff.
Gay for dork stuff. You heard it here first.
He was such a dork, I couldn't even hear what he was saying. That's the problem.
Such a dork, couldn't even hear him.
That's the problem with mainstream media these days. And it's not us, and it's not that any of us are R-worded. It's that they just aren't presenting the news in a way that is accessible or entertaining. And mainly, they're just getting dorks. Front and center that are trying to tell us what to think. And I'm saying, I'm not going to listen to some fucking dork.
Yeah, but that dork was not hired by CNN. That dork was part of the government.
Dude, that dork was hired by CNN. Even if he wasn't hired by CNN, even if he's part of the government, not hired by CNN, he was hired by CNN. If you know what I'm saying.
But he was a goat. Well, he's in charge of the money. So does the president work for him or does he work for the president?
He works for the president because he's such a big fucking dork.
Scott Jennings over at CNN has gotten to be quite a bit of a celebrity. Pretty much he's holding the whole network together with his conservative commentary. And now he's walking a fine line when Elon Musk's third party, the America Party, is introduced.
Quote, when it comes to bankrupting our country and waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. Scott Jennings?
It's harder than it looks to start a political party. We'll see where they go with it. My humble advice to Elon, who I admire very much, actually, is that you may be dividing the forces of people who want to save Western civilization to the benefit of the people who don't. And so to the extent that this effort would divide conservatives and Republicans against each other, that would be helpful because it would leave the country to people who want unfettered immigration, who don't share your fiscal views, and so on and so forth. So we'll see where it goes. I sort of hope everybody puts the band back together the way they had it back in 2024, because when everybody was working together, things worked quite well.
Well, I agree as much as I can understand his dork speak. I agree as much as I can understand his dork speak. Once again, we got a grade A dork, a world-class dork. In my humble opinion, starting a new political party is difficult. Dork!
She trying to throw her dork energy back at Scott Jennings, but I will not allow it on this show. Look, he was kissing ass. He was definitely kissing ass.
Who am I right now? I'm Scott Jennings.
I thought you were Ted Cruz, but I mean, Scott Jennings is close second.
Scott Jennings does this with his eyebrows. In my humble opinion,
I think it was just a tough question. It was a tough question for me. You didn't want to go the way. Okay, look, he's saying though.
This is a tough question.
No, but he's saying the same thing that every old motherfucker under the sun has been saying for years about third parties, and I hate it. Which is they're like, no, you need to go back to us and our way of thinking because otherwise you could ruin all Republicans. I think there's I think there's a fucking different angle to all this. I was telling you this last night. I think there's enough Democrats. There's enough Democrats and Republicans that are ready to watch InfoWars. Kanye 2028. Independent fucking run, funded by Elon Musk, ads and albums day to day. World tour starts in 2026 after the 2025 225th or 250th anniversary of America or wherever that shit is. Because I think Elon's part of that thing. So after they stop spending that, then Kanye gonna run independently with Elon and win and stuff.
Maybe. And if you think that's the end of the world, then shut the fuck up and buckle up, baby, because that's probably not all we've got in store. And do not come for my sweet baby Kanye.
Bully, July 25th. Bully.
Do not come for my sweet baby Kanye. Let him run.
July 25th. Mr. $10 million Olympic contract Bob Acosta sitting here on Sunday morning news on MSNBC to explain to us that politics is a part of sports. And in doing so, he's going to show Jackie Robinson and Bobby King and all this other BS. But you know what he's not going to show? Donald Trump walking through the UFC and winning as president because of it.
Politics is a part of sports.
Yes.
Sports is a part of politics. Does it concern you that we are seeing in some instances politics infused in sports?
I think that politics inevitably has intersected with sports. Anyone who says that politics has no place in sports has to be abysmally unaware of the history here, because until fairly recently in our nation's history, sports and some aspects of entertainment have been the only avenues that were broadly, and even then there was a fight. Jackie Robinson didn't come until 1947, that were broadly accessible to people of color, or where someone like Billie Jean King could make a larger statement about women's rights, not just within sports. And to turn your back on that is to wear a blindfold. So when people say stick to sports, I think what they actually mean most often is stick to sports unless you're saying something that I want to hear and I agree with. But if you're saying something I disagree with that comes from a different perspective, well, then you should just shut up and say there's a ground ball to shortstop. I never bent to that.
Just going to point this out because the news has forgotten. But Kelly, did you know that Donald Trump is having an actual live UFC fight at the White House with 25,000 people invited for the 250th anniversary of America next summer?
No, I didn't know that. I thought this was the 250th anniversary of the Army. No, I did not know that. Pretty exciting stuff.
Exactly. So you heard it here first. Next summer, we will be live doing a podcast at that UFC White House event of those 25,000 as Donald Trump proves that gladiators and America truly are the Roman Empire.
We will be there in costume, interviewing live.
What should we wear? Like just shawls? Like we're part of the fucking Roman Empire? Just shawls. It's like we're just citizens. We're just trying to get in with our citizen tickets.
I'm thinking like multiple layers of costumes, like the shawls over top, and then we've got leotards on the bottom, but there's something in between. The meat of that sandwich.
We got a whole year to decide. Also, we got to figure out how expensive these tickets are. The other thing,
no, that's not even money is no concern.
No concern for patriotism.
To us in our operation of patriotism.
Speaking of big sporting events, okay, so here is the verses for you, Kelly, as just a random lady right now. Okay, would you? So, Dallas, Texas, next summer, end of July. The World Cup finale is going to be in Dallas, Texas at the Cowboy Stadium. The actual final match of the World Cup. There's said to be about 100,000 people in attendance. The average ticket is going to be probably anywhere between $500 and $1,000 just for standing room at the very top of the stadium to be a part of that game. Would you want to go to that?
Yes.
Or Gladiator White House UFC? You can only pick one of the two. And the Gladiator White House UFC is probably going to be about $200 cheaper because it's not an international event. And then the other one is Super Bowl tickets, but you only have to pay $200.
All right. Well, Super Bowl obviously canceled. It happens every year. Gosh, it's tough. Why not both? I don't have the money. It's illegal for me specifically.
We're trying to figure out if you're an American or a racist. Where do you lie? Palestine or Israel here? The Israelis are all going to the UFC event.
I think this is a trick question. I think you're trying to figure out if I'm an American and I'm racist. And the answer is yes. UFC fight of the White House, baby. Oh. No. World Cup, because I played soccer since I was 6 years old, and it's my dream, and it's closer. And it being closer is definitely not the biggest qualifier because I'm not lazy or poor.
I see where you're coming. I'm gonna debate this. Here's my Here's my fight back at the Gladiator.
I'm not lazy or poor, dude. No matter what you say right now, you're not changing my stance on that.
That's what I'm trying to argue. Think you're very rich in activity. No. I'm having a deep internal debate over what I decide here. And I think that the UFC Gladiator might actually be it's tough because I've been duped by a Trump event before. I actually saw Trump the year after he left the White House on 9/11 at a Evander Holyfield boxing fight in Miami. And it was cool. But it was all about Trump, and we just kept chanting "fuck Joe Biden" the entire time, and nobody really cared about the fight. So if that's what's going to happen at this fight, is that it's not going to be like a big fight. It's just going to be like a whole thing of like watching Trump have UFC fighters at the White House. Then I don't want to go. But if it turns out that bill or that card for that UFC fight, they're going to do like 3 title fights or something, like they're going to make it like a huge UFC event, I think that might actually be bigger than the World Cup in my eyes of going, because historically, I just see that as just the ultimate parallel of what everybody's been saying since I've been born, pretty much, which is like the Roman Empire is America. Like, we are literally having gladiators at the White House at the height of their fame, going for the titles, the pride of America. Like sitting right there at the bout, the royalty, you know what I mean? It's the whole thing. And being able to experience and see that while there's huge fighters fighting for a title, I think that might be even bigger as an American person than seeing the World Cup, especially in America. But otherwise, if it's just a regular fight card or just like a regular fight, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be just like that Evander Holyfield boxing thing. It's going to be a whole Trump event where all of the fighters bow to Trump and they all come out in American boxers. And it's essentially just a Trump rally where they fight. And that's kind of gay.
Well, that sounds
I
gay.
don't want that. But if they do title fights at the White House, I think that might be bigger as an American to go and see. And it's only going to happen once because he's going to be out of the White House. No other president's ever going to do that.
No other president will ever be half as fun.
To do the UFC event at the White House would be like, fuck you, I don't care. Like, that's gonna be incredible, especially if there's title fights attached to it, if it's a big, huge event. But if not, I'm going the fucking World Cup, because the World Cup obviously is really close here. It's whatever. It's gonna be really expensive, but it's like a once in a lifetime thing. You're probably never gonna be able to. Can you imagine trying to afford to go to a World Cup in a different country? You'd have to pay for all the tickets to get there and everything, and then still have to pay for the ticket for it.
When I dissociated just now, I did. Do you want to know what the intrusive thought was that was like burning in my brain? It was if I take this Labubu and I go. And when you hear this song, baby, go and bend your back. Bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max.
Okay. All right, enough sports talk for the day.
Go and bend your back, bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max.
I'm here. Donald Trump giving us the advice that he knows best. Winning. How to win like a goddamn winner.
The D.C. City Council has not approved the new stadium for the Commanders. If they don't approve it, will you step in?
Well, we see what happens. I've been looking at the deal, and, I don't blame them. It's a very important piece of property. It's a great piece of property, so we'll see. But if I can help them out, I will. Ultimately, we control that. The federal government ultimately controls it, so we'll see what happens. I saw the plans. I saw the stadium. The owner's very, very successful and a very good man. I know him a little bit. And it would be a great place for the NFL to be there, I can tell you that. So if they want to negotiate a little tough, that's okay with me.
Did you see the Commanders change the name back to Redskins?
Well, you want me to make a controversial statement? I would. I wouldn't have changed the name, but that's there. It just doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same ring to me. But you know, winning can make everything sound good. So if they win, all of a sudden the Commander sounds good. But I wouldn't have changed the name.
Hey, Kelly, that was fucking amazing.
My man, my man, my man, my man.
I love that. Like the reporter asks him, "Hey, would you change it back to the Redskins?" He's like, "Do you want? You want me to make a controversial statement?" He's like, "You know what I'm saying."
Opinion?
You know.
I wouldn't change it for the world. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Why am I paying so much attention to what he says and everyone else? I'm just like eyebrows, haircut.
When it comes to Trump, you're like,
what's he saying?
you follow along.
Oh, man.
I can't believe that. That is unreal. Such a like, he's like, you're gonna make me say what I want to say? All right, well, fucking yeah. I would never fucking. God damn it, man.
I'm broken, dude. I'm broken in my brain. It's not my fault. I blame all these politicians. Confusing me. Mixing me up.
I want to see the Democrats take the U.S. flag back in the next election and be like, we're taking back the American flag. You don't get to use it, Trump. And then Trump to reverse course action and be like, all right, guys, throw out your American flags, Redskins memorabilia only.
I want to see them liberals steal the Capitol again. I don't feel like that got enough coverage. Now that was fun. Now that was cool what they did there.
All right, Ken Burns, motherfucker.
You know,
Ken Burns, motherfucker.
Stop.
Ken Burns, motherfucker.
Okay, keep that intro.
Ken Burns. Ken Burns, motherfucker.
KB.
Do you know what a Ken Burns effect is, Kelly? It's when you zoom into a still image and then you pan across it. It's called Ken Burns.
Oh, sorry. Scorched Earth, Ken Burns.
Ken Burns.
Scorched Earth balls.
You know what? Now that you don't respect Ken Burns, I feel like I'm gonna like force you to watch a Ken Burns documentary before you leave tonight.
Ken Burns did a fucking documentary on quilting. I was like, shout out.
What?
Nobody's talking about that dying art from Appalachia. I'm a quilter myself.
Did you seriously watch a quilting documentary by Ken Burns?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ken Burns.
And quilts are just Ken Burns? Because why did you pick the quilting one?
And quilts. I'm a quilter.
Okay.
You've told a lot of your stories on PBS. PBS is under threat.
All of them.
Are you worried about the future of PBS?
Of course I am, and I've always been worried about it. In the 1990s, I think I testified in the House or the Senate in appropriations or authorization about the endowments or about the Corporation for Public Broadcasting a half dozen times.
Make the case for PBS.
It is the Declaration of Independence applied to the communications world. It's a bottom-up. It's the largest network in the country. There's 330 stations. It mostly serves, and this is where the elimination of funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is so short-sighted. It mainly serves rural areas in which the PBS signal may be the only signal they get. They also have not only our good children's and primetime stuff, they have Classroom of the Air, continuing education, homeland security, crop reports, weather, emergency information. That we're going to take away. This seems foolhardy and seems misguided, mainly because
there is a perception among a handful of people that this is somehow a blue or a left-wing thing, when this is the place that for 32 years gave William F. Buckley a show.
I understand that, like, in a time when our country is in trillions of dollars of debt, that we need to, like, cut the fat, so to speak. We need to, like, trim off things that are non-essential in order to get out of the debt. But at the same time, PBS, that feels like a pillar of America. Absolutely. To so casually, well, not casually, but like, no, I still pretty much have a full one, but it's everything that Ken Burns just said is true. And also because it's Ken Burns, you can trust that it isn't like slighted one way or another. He's just a guy and he seeks truth, right? That's his whole calling. He makes movies about true stories. So I fully agree with him. I didn't totally understand the PBS defunding debacle, but at the same time, I am a big proponent of, like, if you want to get out of debt, I'm a person who's like dug myself out of my own debt on different occasions, and this is how you do it. You stop spending money on the non-essentials and you start putting it towards the debt until you're in the black again.
But when it comes to PBS, it is essential, and it's a
pillar of America.
It's
so true.
It's not what it gets lumped in with everything else that's wrong.
It's an American right to grow up on PBS.
It's
an American rite of passage.
Cutting funding for gifted programs, for transportation, for music makes sense. Those are things that are only offered to inner cities and not rural communities anyway, as someone that grew up in a very small rural community. Something that rural communities do have, though, is an antenna with 3 channels: PBS, NBC, and ABC. You get those 3, and you will always get those 3. And that third one, PBS, especially as a kid, you get programming like Arthur and fucking Sesame Street. The problem is that right now,
Sesame Street is a main staple.
the problem is right now is that there's a few clips of those kind of children's programming doing sleight of hand that are liberal issues, and they get lumped in to this whole transgenders are reading storybooks shit. And then it goes down that spiral, and then Republicans go, all of PBS, because all I think of when I think of PBS is Arthur. So all of PBS needs to go because PBS and Sesame Street are transgender reading books in the library to kids shit. They lump it all in so quickly without even looking at any of it. And in reality, what PBS mostly is doing is making sure that your Hispanic grandmother in a hurricane knows there's a hurricane coming. What PBS is mostly doing is making sure your grandpa who's going senile and your grandmother already died and he's just living in his home by himself, he gets to watch a Civil War documentary and he doesn't have to call you every day and you don't have to feel bad. And he gets to exercise his brain. These things get to happen on farms across America because of PBS. This is not transportation. This is not an inner city thing.
Stories that apply to the situation.
Anyone knows where you're at in America.
The thing that was like stuck at the forefront of my mind was Sesame Street for kids. If you can't watch Sesame Street, what the fuck are any of us doing, you know? But there are so many.
You trying to cancel Sesame Street, bro?
Were you?
Before I ever cancel Sesame Street.
Fucking Hitler? Sesame Street Hitler?
That's a wild. Sesame Street Hitler. I feel like Ted Cruz is a Sesame Street Hitler. Like, down with PBS, Sesame Street Hitler. Ah! He's like trying to take down Big Bird and put him up at the top.
Well, in the Bible, it says. Where? Well, I can't look up the exact. It's in Genesis. But anyhow.
Did you hear about the latest Ted Cruz fiasco? I didn't think this was real. I thought it was just a fucking shitty meme, and then I found out it was real. During the flood, guess where Ted Cruz was? Guess where Ted Cruz was? No, don't worry. He was in Greece this time. Any thoughts?
Okay, I was here for the snowstorm, man. And boy, was it not a good fucking look. To be like, oh, I might die in my apartment. Help should be coming, right? No, and where's our leader? Cancun. And by the way, where's his dog? At his fucking house here. No power. That's just what I heard. I don't know that for sure, but it sounds likely given the guy. Everyone hates him so goddamn much. And dude, that snowstorm made it so fucking personal. Waking up and seeing multiple feet of snow outside and looking at your thermostat and seeing that it says 52 degrees and trying to make a pilgrimage to your local HEB and realizing that it's closed and then following just following crowds of people to where they're walking across the interstate to a gas station and buying gas station snacks to keep yourself alive for the next few days while it's freezing and you have no power.
I'm just saying.
He's in Cancun.
I'm just saying. And while you were thinking all that, Ted Cruz was sitting there with his wife and they're going, okay, but babe, like, how do we get on the plane?
Oh no, it looks like people are upset. How will we deal with this?
No, that's after the fact. That was the thing. That was the thing with that one. Is that one's worse than this one. This one is actually kind of understandable. It's understandable that on a holiday weekend like 4th of July, actually it's kind of not if you're a Texas senator. He's a Texas state senator. He's a Texas state senator that was. I'm trying to figure this one out right now. The one that just happened. He's a Texas state senator who decided to go to Greece during the 4th of July. That on its own should be merit to get the fucking guy out. What the fuck? You're a Texas senator? Cowboy, yippee-yi-yi, fucking Texas, and you're going to go on the 4th of July to Greece? But yeah, like, it's understandable that then when tragedy strikes and you happen to be gone on a holiday weekend, it's whatever. The problem with the one in the winter was that he was here when the fucking snow hit. And then he went, oh, there's no power at my house. Brr, it's cold. Why don't we get on a plane and leave?
Oh, my dog's okay.
Bye. Bye, America. Bye, everybody that doesn't have power around me that I'm in charge of.
I'm not dicking around, dude. I almost died. I went to bed every night just looking at the thermostat with my windows packed with towels, just hoping for the best. 50-something degrees on day one is wild. Do you know, like, you don't have much warmth to, like, harbor inside of your domicile after it's already 50-something degrees. And then it got down to, like, single-digit temperatures that same night. I knocked the Labubu over. It got down to, like, 5 degrees that same night.
Okay, I got a new one for you. Homeless during that snowstorm or little girl at Camp Mystic?
Oh, okay, well, this is gonna sound so fucked up, but like as a person who has drowned before, I would choose drowning. Again, this is gonna sound so fucked up, but drowning, not the worst way to go. Wasn't that bad, truly, which is really scary and fucked up again, but drowning.
Maybe they didn't give you enough. Maybe you didn't get enough water in Because I heard it burns quite a bit when you get the water in the lungs.
No, I think I got enough, dude. I think I got enough of the drowning. So this next clip is about how, from the DHS secretary, how we're ending the remove your shoes policy in airports. Yeah.
TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints. This is something that I know for quite some time people have talked about and discussed, and we know that when President Trump was elected, that he pledged to make life better for all Americans, and that includes those who are travelers going through our busy airports. We want to improve this travel experience, but while maintaining safety standards and making sure that we are keeping people safe as they go to take their vacations, travel for work, or spend time with their families. So we took a hard look at how TSA does its business, how it does its screening processes, and what we do to make people safe, but also provide some hospitality as well. Now, this is especially important to streamline the process and look at efficiencies that we can build in as we build up for some big events that are going to be coming here in the next 12 months here in the United States of America. As you all know, right now, we have the club championships going on. A lot of travelers and visitors are coming into the country, but next year we will also have the Olympics that will be in the United States of America. The World Cup matches will be happening, as well as many America 250 events. All of those will bring us record travelers to the United States.
Did you ever want to remove your shoes, or do you care about removing your shoes? Do you not care about removing your shoes? I always was like, oh, I'm forgetting that I'm removing my shoes. And then like, I'm always like, I feel naked on the other side. I always feel naked on the other side. But taking them off, I never have a problem. I'm always like, okay, whatever. I guess we're taking our shoes off, getting comfortable. And then we get to the other side. And then I'm like, fuck, I got to put these on this like weird bench while everybody's like going past me. And I feel just kind of naked and weird about it all. So that's my experience with the shoes. I'm glad. I'm glad as long as the Saudis don't bomb us with a shoe bomb now. I mean, he kind of made it like Captain Obvious with like the we're not checking shoes anymore. But
it sounds like we've defeated the threat of the shoe bomb. And it sounds like Alex has been drinking 12% porters. And it is really paying off for this podcast. I'm fucking crying. There's a tear rolling down my face.
Yo, that was fucking crazy though, where she was just like, yeah, by the way, UFC event at the White House, World Cup fucking finale and the Olympics. Good luck, motherfuckers. Don't wear your shoes. or like, good luck, motherfuckers. Wear your shoes.
We got a lot of travel coming up, and so we're gonna cut some corners. We're gonna cut some corners.
She's like, bro, we got the World Cup, the Olympics, and UFC at the White House. Wear your shoes.
What do you care more about, terrorism or lines?
And we took that survey, and no one said terrorism. They all said lines. They all said that they care more about the lines. So we said, keep your goddamn shoes on. Fuck y'all.
I'm more afraid of lines in this country than terrorism. These right-wing bigots trying to force feed us. Anti spectrum. What the fuck was I trying to think of?
Wow. They also said, I was listening on the radio, they were saying that they might remove what is it? Oh, you can bring toothpaste on the plane. They were saying, they're like, you might be able to bring the toothpaste on the plane.
Wasn't just 2.5 milliliters?
They're like,
wait, I think it's 3.5 now.
They're like, there's a lot of Saudis headed on a plane for Dallas next summer.
brush their teeth.
But they do bring body lotion, and that's why body lotion is now on the approved list of we don't give a fuck. Too many Saudis going to Dallas with body lotion for us to give a fuck.
One of my law students, like when I had my job at the advocacy program at UT Law, was the daughter of the guy who did the talcum powder lawsuit, like the baby powder lawsuit, where they found out there's
Gave cancer in your balls. Yeah, when I heard that.
Wait, in your balls? Well, it just gives you. I think it just gives you cancer, like period. Just cancerous. And he was the guy that did the lawsuit. And he was like a billionaire, but he didn't really like to talk about his money. And
Can't get ball money. Because he had ball money. If you had testicle money, would you be like baller? Would you be walking around being like, yeah, I got rich off of people's testicles?
That guy was really nice, by the way. He was really cool.
Sure. I mean, he saved a lot of testicles. Obviously, he's a cool guy.
He's a really good guy.
It'd be weird if he was bragging about it.
Saved a lot of lives.
A lot of balls.
You're being stupid.
Saved a lot of balls.
Let your balls talk.
All right. Next clip. Donald Trump says he is tired of Putin's bullshit. What you gotta say about Trump being tired of Putin's bullshit?
But if you look at our Patriots, if you look at our Tomahawks, if you look at our, what we do with tanks is you wouldn't want to be driving a tank. You would feel nice and secure, but they are javelins, they're called. And I gave them the javelins. Remember they said Trump gave the javelins and Obama gave them sheets, right? They called Obama at that time. Barack Hussein Obama, if you haven't heard, did a terrible job. But that was a war that should have never happened, and a lot of people are dying, and it should end. And I don't know, we get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin. For you want to know the truth, he's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
That's what I fucking say about Trump being tired of Putin's bullshit. But at that same meeting, which was the longest cabinet meeting ever recorded with media present in U.S. history by a president, it was 2 hours and 37 minutes long. And at the end of that meeting, somebody said, Epstein, 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 Epstein. And Trump said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Young man.
No, man. I did not touch that little girl on the island. No, ma'am. I did not touch that little girl on Epstein's island.
Let's all go to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
What was it?
Minor.
Not minor.
Zion.
Zion.
Gaza.
Zion. I hate how American skinhead this podcast is feeling, but it's reality. It's what's happening to reality. They're doing it to us. We're not doing it to them. They're American skinheading us. Exactly. Every time that I relate to a griper meme, it does not make me more racist. It makes me closer to Candace Owens. What's your opinion on Candace Owens? 1 out of 10. Would you bang?
I stand alone and independently of any of your thoughts, and I would 10 out of 10 be best friends with Candace Owens.
But would you bang?
Before you interrupted me, I was going to say we would probably enjoy some wonderful private holidays.
I would bang. 10 out of 10. This is No News is News. I'm Alex R. Wagner.
I'm Kelly Virginia Klein.
This is a Labubu. That's a Labubu. Oh my god. It's fucking scary. Yeah.
Trump clip.
We didn't need to play them. We just recapped and talked about them as we just said.
No, we were gonna play the one.
The one where he does the Epstein thing?
Yeah.
You can talk about it. What are you guys say?
You're so
drunk.
Why are you?
The conspiracy theories need to end.
So then we just like wait, I don't appreciate the culture of not playing my most favorite clip.
I'm just gonna say, watch Marco. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Watch Marco Rubio. This is what we should all be doing right now.
This is Trump talking about. This is Trump flabbergasted at anyone bringing up Epstein during this challenging time for Texas. And as my co-host said, please do focus on Marco Rubio's face. Just completely dissociating into the void of if I don't move, they cannot see me.
As he talks about the pedophile, do not nod in agreement, but do not look in disapproval. Be still, for you may be president soon.
If you want to capture the perfect Marco Rubio look, it's a little something like if you want to capture that flawless 1,000-mile stare.
Just
look down.
Yeah, sure. If I
Yeah, could I just interrupt for
Sure.
a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
What you got to say about our last clip, Kelly? Because I will say my opinion has stayed firm. Donald Trump's on the list. He is a bad liar.
Maybe I'm a fool who fell for it, but maybe I'm not. And I actually kind of stand behind the whole don't talk about Jeffrey Epstein, that fucking creep right now. We're talking about 27 young girls who went missing and were confirmed dead, who were washed away in the night. Everyone was struck by that tragedy. And I understand taking a beat to just be like, no, there's something worse immediately going on right this instant. Why in the hell are you asking me about this bullshit? And the fact that it's very much like beating a dead horse as well, where it's just one of those things that keeps coming up, kind of like, did he do it? I get it, but at the same time, like, we had a larger tragedy on our hands due to the immediacy of the tragedy. Like, it had just fucking happened, and it's like, you're so out of touch if you're asking something about like it's a big story. It's gonna be there tomorrow. Let's take a beat and think about these little fucking girls that are all dead. That's insane.
All right, now time for the rebuttal. That would have been great if Trump would have been a good politician and stayed on message and went down that road that you're talking about. But he tried to play the fine line of being halfway between agreeable to you and also staying positive to his Republican counterparts.
Yeah, I think my
What-
attitude is very citrus. It's
Wha-
very like neat.
Right. And you're playing to the emotion, and it's fine, but he should have played fully to that. What he did is he went, you can talk about Texas or all the great things we're doing. So he's fine if you can talk about the great things we're doing too, but we just shouldn't be talking about Epstein. Well, now I think you are giving justification, Trump, to the question that you ask right after you say that, which is, who cares about Epstein? We all do. We all care about Epstein now because you're saying we can talk about good stories about you. We can talk about the bad shit that happened with the flood in Texas. But if we ask about Epstein in particular, which Epstein is part of the news, you guys did just, as the DOJ, release a whole thing saying Epstein didn't killed himself and there is no list and it's all good. So there is a reason to even ask this question. And then you're going to act like it came out of the blue. Why are you even talking about Epstein? And you could talk about all the great things we do or this tragedy, but how dare you talk about that thing? It seems so wildly inaccurate to navigate it that way. If you would have navigated it the way that you're essentially pitching it, which is like all about it being about the tragedy and the whole thing being about like, why are you not talking about the tragedy? Sure. But he didn't do that. He said, like, you can talk about anything and talk about the tragedy, but you can't talk about that.
I think he's pissed off and annoyed, and I think that there isn't a world that exists where he can trust the motive of the media corporations, of the people asking him these questions. And
I think he wants to scapegoat this whole thing. And I think that he is a narcissist that can think that he can talk himself out of his own weakness. And that's what happens with narcissists. If you look at serial killer narcissists, all kinds of narcissists that are robbers, criminals, everything, what happens is once you expose them, you can see their narcissism, which is Trump doesn't do anything wrong. Very, very rarely does he actually do something wrong. So but the media will keep acting like he does. So it keeps you on his side. And then when he does do something wrong, though, because he's a narcissist, he's out there talking just like when Kanye does something wrong. You know immediately how out of bounds it is because he's just going to try to talk his way out of it. And I don't think that he should be trying to talk about Epstein because he literally did right before the election where he goes, yeah, I'll do the MLK. Yeah, I'll do the JFK. But the Epstein, there might be some phony stuff in there. Well, that's the implication that you're in it. And if you're in it, it's phony. And then here's this second version of it, which is like, stop it.
from a context of like history, as in like the MLK Jr., the JFK, whatever, those files, like those, it's
But why be shocked this week that they wanted to ask her about Epstein when she lied about Epstein this week? They put out a press release as the fucking DOJ this week about Epstein. He's the president. He's in charge of the DOJ. Why is he shocked that a reporter is asking about it? That's the thing. He's trying to act like he's shocked that they're asking about Epstein. You just put out a press release about Epstein.
I don't think he's shocked. I think he's pissed off and tired. And honestly, it doesn't sound like the worst message from a leader to me to be like, why are you asking about these things right now when, like, look what the fuck we have on our hands. This is all wild.
But in trying to stop it, is he not, like, he should know from the fact that that's how he became president now twice. If you try to stop it, it only fuels the fire. So why are you now trying to stifle the conspiracy theory of Epstein? As Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes both pointed out, so did Candace Owens and many others. Why didn't they just drag this thing out until the end of the fucking administration? Why say it's actually over?
So I think that he was speaking from a historical sense about releasing those like older files about what happened versus like the Jeffrey Epstein files, because when he said like there's a lot of phony stuff in those files that you wouldn't want to hurt people nowadays, and the older files probably not gonna hurt anybody. Like
that's right. Yeah,
it's gonna hurt the memory of people, but like to injure people's actual lives, and we can't tell if people were set up or if they were in on this. We don't know. So yeah, there probably is a lot of phony shit. It sounds like Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing people. So yeah, there probably is a lot of phony shit. They probably can't figure out what's true. Now that I think about that, and I kind of understand the delicacy of handling these files, I don't understand the bringing it up and when there's nothing new to tell about it. It feels inflammatory. It feels salacious.
But the journalist didn't make it salacious, didn't bring it up. The DOJ did. That blonde lady, the AG, the fucking Pam Bondi released a press release to that reporter, sent her a fucking personal letter that said, Epstein killed himself and there's no list. Here you go. And then the reporter goes to the first meeting she sees with the lady and goes, hi, excuse me, you know how you just sent me this letter that said, everything you've been telling me for the last 3 years is a complete lie? You mind explaining yourself?
Hold on, stop.
And then Trump's like, why are you asking about it?
Is the reporter reporting all of this?
The reporter is asking Pam Bondi a question. Trump is interrupting at this meeting and saying, why is anybody asking about Epstein? I'm talking about a press release, which is what the DOJ did. She's the head of the DOJ. I'm using it as a metaphor. A press release is a personal letter to a journalist, essentially. You're the DOJ. You're the government. You wrote a fucking letter, which is the release, and sent it.
Personal letter, all right?
A press release? A press release is a usually one-page document with colons at the end, with pound signs at the end of it, that you send to... She's trying to kill a bug. There's a bug infestation at my apartment. Ralph is giving like the deepest stared look, like, what the fuck are you doing, lady?
If you want to learn more about how to achieve a flawless 1,000-mile stare, contact my son, Ralford Jacobson Klein.
No, but my whole thing is that like the DOJ and which is the Justice Department, AG, Pam Bondi, she's literally sending a letter to the fucking press. Hey, this guy is not guilty. Or there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with him. You send that out. Then the next day you show up and see that person in person. You raise your fucking hand. They go, yeah, ask a question. He goes, I'm going to ask a question to you, the person who sent this fucking letter to me. Hey, why'd you lie to me in this letter? And then the fucking, then the president is going to fucking just sit there and fucking, meh. And then Kelly's going to support him because she's a MAGA, because she's a Redskin. Goddamn Redskin MAGA. That's the new derogatory for a Redskin is a fucking MAGA. KKK?
A giblet.
A giblet. All right. So Kelly is a Redskin giblet bitch. I'll see you guys later. Bye.